Black Jesus story was probably one of the most shocking things I ever heard. It came from my insider, Jacob, I call him that in the book, who actually was working for the Rothschilds.
So apparently, this was at the Citadel. Oh. Wake the fuck up.
Love, light, and peace, family. Welcome to a brand new episode of The High Zone. Today on the menu, we got some disturbing, diabolical TikToks they don't want you to see. With that being said, Zone family, if you're not tapped in with the family, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for every time I drop. You can rock out with me and the family. Zone family, I appreciate every last one of you who's been tapping in with me. For real, for real. I love you guys like cooked food. There's a lot that's been going on, a lot we gotta talk about. First of all, you guys know I was posting about my vision. How'd that happen? Me ODing, drinking stuff I'm not supposed to drink, eating stuff I'm not supposed to eat. I got out of control. And what happened to me, happened to me. Going to the bathroom like 4 times a night. And that kept on going, and I wasn't paying attention to it, knowing that I know what's going on. And after that, once I started getting into my herbal teas back again, I dropped my sugar too fast, and when I did that, my vision went blurry. I don't wish that on anybody, okay? I do not wish that on anybody. It's like you're vulnerable. You can't do nothing. You can't look at the screen. You can't do nothing. As soon as you look at the screen, your eyes start to burn and they get super dry. I mean, family, it's something that you don't want to go through it. And if you have been through it, then you know. How I got over it, I did not run to the doctor. Herbal teas, eating my salad, my protein, and most of all, exercising. I was at the gym all day, every day, running for an hour, 45 minutes. Then I'm doing incline at 3.0, 45, 4.5 incline. Like I was really going in. My main focus was to get back to you guys. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. Every last one of you who's been tapping in with me, asking what's going on with me, sending me them hearts. I appreciate you guys. And for those who's been wondering what's happening and still commenting, I appreciate and love you like cooked food also. I definitely appreciate every last one of you. But we back in the zone, baby. And we not gonna get up out the zone. I'm gonna make sure I do what's right. Stay on top of my game. Cause me not having you guys in my life for that month, it was the worst. It was the worst. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't even look at social media because my eyes was hurting. And the whole 9 y'all, like I said, I do not wish that on anybody's own family. I do not wish that on anybody. But anyway, family, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Let's get straight into these bangers.
The Black Jesus story was probably one of the most shocking things I ever heard. It came from my insider, Jacob, I call him that in the book, who actually was working for the Rothschilds and still does, and also is a whistleblower who doesn't really do what they want but continues to work for them because he feels like there's some very serious extraterrestrial threats to Earth and that what they're doing is very necessary to protect us. So the story goes that in the 1960s there was a black man in Africa who came in with abilities complementary to those of Jesus. And he was performing miracles. He was starting to get people to listen to what he had to say. And the cabal tried to kill him, and, you know, they could shoot him in the head and his skull would just regenerate and the flesh would grow back, and he was fine. And so the crazy story that I heard, and remember, I was told at the time that if I disclosed this, that I would be killed, and I ended up putting it in the book anyway. The story was that this guy, they finally said, okay, we're going to bring you to the United Nations and share your message with the world. Let's get you on this flight. They bring him on this flight, and instead of bringing him to the United Nations, they shot him repeatedly, and then actually had some kind of meat grinder device, and basically like a bandsaw, I guess, and sawed up his body into a whole bunch of pieces, put him in these very like radioactive shielded containers, and then had all these fighter jets dock with the plane and fly his body parts to all corners of the world, where then these containers turned them into ash. Crazy. And they thought that maybe this would defeat him, like that his body somehow, the tissue was necessary. So if they destroyed all the tissue in all these places across the world, maybe they could defeat him. Well, he then regenerated in their offices and was fully fine, fully intact. But the sad part is that he said, you guys so badly do not want me to be here that I am not going to be able to do any more. You're going to get what you want, but bear in mind that in the future, many others like me will be coming, and when they do, you will not be able to stop us.
Wow. Well,
that is all I know. Unfortunately, there's nothing more to the story than that. I don't.
Incredible.
But it is an incredible story.
Incredible.
But we're not going to wait forever, and I don't want you to be tired either. I want you to be prepared. I want you to be ready. I want you to psychologically and emotionally prepare yourself for what will be the most stunning events you've ever seen in your entire life. That is what we're heading into. It is not going to stay like this, where people can still be skeptical and they can still be annoying and they can still say, well, I don't know if I believe any of this stuff. You will not have that luxury anymore. You will not have the luxury of denying what is going on. You will not have the luxury of being ignorant. It's become so obvious for those who are, even with possessing minimal insight, that there is something very, very crazy going on. That the world is being run not the way we were told in school, not the way you're told on television, but there's something else going on. It's dark, it's weird, it's scary. There is a monster under the bed. We're really being held back by the people who don't see this yet, and the reason typically they don't see it is political ideology and fear. Frankly, people are disappearing. Scientists are going missing. Now they're saying they're going to investigate this. The president himself is saying they're going to look into this and see if anything's going on. It's a little bit scary. I got to say, it's a little bit scary, but you guys knew that I might still show up even though it was last minute and I've had a really rough week. Like, that's kind of like every week, but somehow we keep on making it through all of this. I really wish there were other influencers out there doing global meditations, but right now it seems like I'm the only one. And so we gotta keep on track, you guys. I need other people out there doing this for me because I don't want to be a single point failure. If anything ever happened to me, God forbid, we don't want that to happen, but I want other people to be doing this as well, not just me.
R.I.P. to the legend. If y'all been rocking with the Zone family, y'all know he's my top guy. I always praise him. Always. So a moment of silence for David Wilcock. This man is a legend. He's been trying to wake the masses up for a long time. He didn't even care if they take him out. He was spilling the beans. He was raising a lot of vibration worldwide. Like he said, he would hold these vibration meditation on his live. If you pay for some of his live, he was a part of that meditation group. I mean, this man was knowledgeable of a lot, and he was sharing a lot. Things he didn't even have to share, things he didn't even have to do. Like that story of the Black Jesus. This is actual factual. These are things they don't want you to know. These are things that was buried underground for a long time. But you know what though? Even though he's gone, his legacy will forever live on through everybody who's vibrating high. We definitely appreciate you, David Wilcox. You will not be missed. You will forever live in everybody that's high vibrational. Because your teaching is embedded in us. And we definitely appreciate you at the highest zone.
This shit about to happen. The flip about to happen. We at critical mass now, right? We at event horizon. Watch that motherfucking statue, because when that bitch drop, it's over with. And they can't wrap no motherfucking chains around that bitch like a goddamn superhero movie to keep it standing. That's just not gonna happen. While they got y'all looking to LA, I'm telling y'all, watch New York. And this is for all 5 boroughs to be back on top. This for them to get rid of all of that blight that these parasites that inflicted up on our people and rebuild that motherfucker how New York wanted to be, not how some motherfuckers from some royal family on the other side of the ocean think it should be. Fuck them motherfuckers. They ain't got nothing to do with us over here. They can take their ass back home, but it's too late now because their ass can't get there now. All avenues is cut off. They finna stop flying all these planes. All the airports finna shut down for several reasons, not just one. Aside from that, we about to have more motherfucking aerial phenomenon than you could expect with the airport shut down. Where in the fuck is all this shit flying around in the sky here if we don't got no airplanes in the sky? What is all this shit? You figure it out. You figure it out. Right? Ain't no mercy if you still in the way when this shit happened, because they done had military dragging you motherfuckers out, international police, Peace Alliance, the motherfucking Earth Alliance. You done had the motherfucking Foreign League, all kind of motherfuckers pulling you motherfuckers out of literal holes in the ground. What the fuck you think, you an earthworm or something, you rotten motherfucker? You gonna crawl up out of your motherfucking hole, go steal somebody's kid and crawl back in the hole like you wasn't, like that shit wasn't gonna eventually get caught? Like nobody wasn't gonna figure that shit out? Like we just gonna stay dumb forever? How long can you keep doing the same dumb shit before we figure that shit out? You can't keep doing it. It's over. You got these motherfucking, the Pleiadians is telling you, the Arcturians is telling you, the Lyrans is telling you, and they don't even live here. And you don't believe them. They don't even live here. They telling you motherfuckers this shit is up. You got the Andromedas telling you. You got the Orianos telling you. You got the Syrians telling you. You still don't believe this shit. It's over with for you motherfuckers. Your leader has been motherfucking, what's the word? Been systematically eliminated. Been systematically eliminated. Is of no consequence now. When we freed Earth, we freed every matriarchal realm that was under the same tyranny. And they all coming to show homage and gratitude for the Earthborn that stood up to the unstand-upable, the motherfucking threat that was so colossal, didn't nobody ever want to face. They thought this motherfucker couldn't be defeated. He's a fucking fraud the whole time. He living off other motherfuckers' glory. He living off other motherfuckers' glory. He won't do his own work. He want other motherfuckers to do the work and give him the credit. That's just like an old Hollywood bastard. You want everybody else to do all the work, but you want all the credit and all of the motherfucking residuals that come with getting the credit and ain't did shit. You motherfucking bootlicking ass bitches. Bootlicking motherfuckers. You gonna get to taste some boots. Cause you know the rule on the block is when it's war and you hit that ground, you get Briscoe stomped around here. I don't know about nowhere else, but that's the motherfucking Motor City rule. You hit the ground, you getting Briscoe. Ask a motherfucker from the D what a Briscoe stomp is. You gonna get the Briscoe stomp from the big 50s.
Was Rod cooking or not? Let me know down below, Zone family. Do you agree with what he was saying? Or you think he was capping? I definitely agree. The jig is up. Things about to change. The big shift. We just gotta keep paying attention. David Wilcox ain't here. Y'all still don't believe what's going on? Let me know.
Someone in the You Know What group shared a Bible with me that I don't think she was supposed to share with me. It's an ancient Bible, and I'm probably gonna have to break this up in 3 parts, but it's an ancient Bible that I don't think she was supposed to share with me, and it explains everything that's going on. hopefully you've been paying attention to where people are finding duplicate items of things that they care about. So when people search and they lose the item that they care about, they're finding duplicate items of items they care about. If you haven't been paying attention, these items are items to where even if it was another universe or a parallel universe where you were in, you would probably have this item. So someone in this universe, this alternate universe, is probably missing an item that people are finding two of. I'm going to show some pictures just to show you. But these are things like wedding rings, engagement rings, things close to them, things they had since childhood, things that meant a lot to them. So this ancient Bible, the purpose of this ancient Bible is because you know what and you know who is changing the timelines around to make it so they can win. This ancient Bible actually changes in real time whenever they try to change the timeline so they can win. And so in this Bible, we're going to go through Genesis. And I want to say this real fast. I'm going to go through this ancient Bible and break down Genesis and break down what the world order and the authority looks like. This is not what I basically created. This is what someone who actually is not black shared with me because she thought I was on the in crowd because of some of the things I was saying in my videos. So she was like, oh yeah, you know about the ancient Bible, right? She was like, yeah, I read that when I was 9 years old. I was like, tell me more. So let's break down this ancient Bible. And I don't know if this is true or not, or real or not. This is all fake imagination story. So let me just go through a quick breakdown. So in this ancient Bible, there are kingdoms on earth. And every kingdom has two people who are in charge of it, and they're called gods, believe it or not. The rest of the people are called hosts, okay? So we have the kingdom that's in the sky, okay? We have the kingdom that's on the surface planet, so Earth, but the surface. We have the kingdom in the ocean. We have the kingdom underground. I think we also have, and I'm trying to figure out the other kingdoms, maybe the bacteria kingdom, the virus kingdom, and we have the swamp, so things that live in like swamps, lakes, that kingdom. And there's always a god that governs that kingdom. And I know this sounds wild to say, y'all, but y'all are really good about things like this because you're probably going to lead me to some book or some movie or something that talks about this. For this first video, I'm just going to give you two kingdoms and their gods because you will not believe who's in charge of the surface world. Just to give you a hint, it's what I've been talking about in my videos that I knew it. This is what it's all about. I figured out who's actually in charge of the surface world, y'all. Wait till y'all hear that shit. You won't believe it. Let's start something spicy. Let's start with the ocean. Who's in charge of the ocean? Well, we have the gods of the ocean are a mermaid, humanoid mermaid, and then an octopus, believe it or not. So it's a mermaid, and it's a female mermaid, and it's a male octopus. That's who's in charge of the ocean. And they play no games. And so their hosts are, dolphins, whales, things that live in the sea. Not things that crawl in the sea, but things that live in the sea, that come from the sea. And this is why you would notice with the animal kingdom that the mammals in the water are not related to the mammals on Earth. Look that up in biology. So that's who's in charge of the ocean, and they play no games. This octopus is extremely intelligent, still has telekinesis, and they guard that ocean well. This is why when NASA went to go in the ocean, they say, you better get your ass up out of here. So they went into the ocean. They were not able to discover all of the ocean because there's something in there that's powerful, and they're telling them, you better get your ass up out of here. We don't play no games. You don't come into our kingdom. We know who you are. We know exactly who you are. So get the hell up out of here. So that's who's in charge of the ocean. And I know this might sound all wild, but this is in the Bible. This is in the ancient Bible. And this is what I've been telling people. You don't have access to what they have in the Vatican and everything. So don't say that you know. Just because you have the King James version don't mean you have the actual real version. So let's keep going. Now this one's going to really freak you out. I'm going to tell you who's in charge of the underground. What happens when things go underground? What happens to their skin? Doesn't it turn sometimes grayish? Whitish? Oh. Does the skin start to turn a little, gray? So who's in charge of the underground kingdom? It's the Greys. That's who's in charge of the underground kingdom. Oh yeah, you thought they were fake. That's who it says in the Bible. They're very intelligent, very tiny, but they live underground, and their hosts are insects like spiders and bugs. This is what I said in my other video. When you go to sleep, why is there always a spider or a bug around? And if you don't believe me, when you go to sleep next time and you close your eyes, roll your eyes up in the back of your head and tell me what you see. See, some of you go through sleep paralysis, and I used to always say to myself, why is it when people go through sleep paralysis or they have experiences with grays all over the world, people all over the world see these damn grays? That doesn't make any sense. Well, now you know why. Because they're real, and they're from underground. At least that's what someone told me. They were not supposed to tell me. So y'all, hey, powers that be, don't come after me. One of your people messed up and told me that she read this ancient Bible, not me. So the grays are real, and they're from underground, and they're smart, very smart, intelligent, telepathic, and they keep us basically binded. So you know Men in Black, right? When he does the little flash and you forget shit. Yeah, that's why you forget your dreams when you wake up. That's why some of you forget your dreams at all. This is why you forget your past lives, because those things are working overtime to erase your memory. That's how powerful they are. Now you might think this is all hula, but don't you worry, because before this year is over, everything's going to be revealed. So I think this is why this information even got to me. So yeah, that's Ancient Bible Part 1. We got a lot more kingdoms to go through. We got a lot more to talk about. And I'm telling you, wait until you find out who the God of the surface world is. Me telling you about this Ancient Bible Part 2, this Bible that basically changes in real time depending on a timeline. Because remember, they want to win in the end. So this Bible keeps changing depending on if they're on the right track. If you didn't hear about the first 2 kingdoms, you got to scroll back to Part 1. So this is Part 2, and let's bring up 2 more kingdoms. So on Earth, there are some more kingdoms I want to talk about. Let's go to the swamp. So when it comes to the swamp and the water, the lakes, there are gods of the swamp and lakes, and those are the reptiles that you hear about, the reptilians, the humanoid reptilians. And so they're in charge of like crocodiles and different things, snakes, different things like that. And so those are the gods for that. Let's go to the sky. The sky gods, they are probably the more advanced ones. And so there are gods of the sky. Now, the person said that you can't really make out who they are. These humanoids, they look really weird. This is not really talking about angels or anything like that. This is a little bit different, but they're in charge of the sky. And they have cities up there. You just can't see them. I know this sounds wild, but they're really advanced, and that's how cloaking things work. And some people have actually recorded clouds and things and different cameras and said, why does it look like a city up there?
City, yeah.
And so that's where they are. A little bit more advanced. I think they probably stay out the way most of the time, to be honest. I don't think they want to be found, to be honest. But some of the things that have happened recently, I think people on Earth have found them and they started going at it, but I'm just not sure. And their hosts are like birds, birds.
Tough.
And like I said, these kingdoms are separate, and the host of each kingdoms are like the thing that works for them. So birds, eagles, things that are from the sky, that live in the sky. And another reason why you know this in biology is because a bird is not related to a land mammal. A bird is actually more related to a reptile. And so those are some of the kingdoms. And like I said, we're about to get to the Earth Kingdom. Now, I don't know anything about fungi, bacteria, and viruses, but there should be dwellers or rulers over those kingdoms too. So if you've seen a book or a story about those kingdoms, let me know. If you heard anything, it's the fairies who's in charge of maybe, one of these kingdoms. Because we also have the trees as well, which I just learned that they might be their own kingdom, mixed with the fungi. And so looking at the trees, if you heard of anything about that. And then the next video, like I said, we're now going to jump into who is actually in charge, who is given authority over the surface world and the earth that we walk on and live on today. You don't want to miss part 3 because you're not going to believe who is actually in charge.
The ancient Bible underneath the Vatican secret area, about 20 miles or whatever it is, with nothing but secrets. Our secrets. Things they are hiding from us. What you think about that? The people that's overseeing these realms. Underground, the swamp, the water, the sky, the fungi, even the surface world. Who's controlling the surface world? What y'all think about the people or the entities that's controlling these other worlds? Is it cap or is it facts? We have to really take in a lot of this stuff, because we've been lied to in school our whole lives. And everything that don't seem like it's real, it's the realest that it can get. So we have to have an open mind. If you ain't got an open mind 2026, you might as well be an actor or extra in a Truman Show. You see Jim Carrey try to get up out that thing, and that's another topic we're going to get into, Jim Carrey. But anyway, family, drop it down below. Let me know what y'all thought about this ancient Bible. Part 3, we definitely going to get that. You know how we do in the zone. Let's keep it moving.
According to the Bible, it never rained on this planet until the year 2348 BCE, 4,370 years ago, or 4,730 years ago, I think. Adam was created in the year, depending on how you take it. The Masoretic text says that he was created in the year 4004 BCE. Other people have it at 4024 BCE. And if you look up and if you can Google or hit chat, the idea that it never raining on this planet in the 4.6 billion years that the standard model says, that hit me kind of strangely. And I began asking questions about that. Is it possible for there never to have been rain on this planet until the year 2348 BCE? They couldn't give me an answer for it. So I started doing research, and I looked into glaciations and ice cores, and the deeper you look into the ice cores, you can go back almost 1.2 million years and you see the same recursive things that's taking place. And in order to have glaciers in those places means you have precipitation. In order to have precipitation, you have a hydrologic system that is functioning. And snow begins as rain initially, and it freezes. So that question right there made me stop. If you look at and mind you, it's not that I don't believe in God, but what we've been taught is not lining up with archaeological truth, archaeological facts. If you look at the tree rings, they don't support the idea of a global flood. It supports the idea of perhaps a regional flood in a given area. But to support a global flood, all of those tree rings, for water to be on the earth for 150 days and everything's crushed underneath it, all the trees would die. So you would see a new growth pattern, but we still see tree rings that goes back 12,000 years. So there was a flood. There's a number of reports for a regional flood, but as far as it being a global flood, that doesn't match according to archaeological facts, according to the glacial facts. So I had to start questioning those things. And remember, we were told that the Bible is the Word of God. And man wrote it, but it was under inspiration. And I was like, well, if I look at 4004 BCE as the starting point for man being here, well, that doesn't match the genealogical records of everyone coming up out of Africa and making their movement through Gobekli Temple. All of these places, 13,000 years old. Other places showing that mankind has been here at least 300,000 years, or at least 1 million years. So that was a hard thing for me, because I felt like I was losing my religion. But at the same time, I was gaining my common sense that when they began writing about trying to understand what was taking place. They used the best tools that they had available at the time. But those tools, now we have more sensitive instruments. And so we should be using those sensitive instruments and using our common sense and take the stories that we can from these things, but not to... We have to walk away from fairy tales at the end of the day and hold on to truth and hold on to the God. When we pray, who do we pray to? Do we pray out there, or are we praying to a deeper place inside, the connectivity to the Creator?
Guys, new footage is now starting to surface of the scientist that was researching anti-gravity. She's in a complete panic in the video, saying that she was being hit by some kind of energy weapon and she has the burns on her body to prove it. Her name was Amy Eskridge, and she wasn't just working on free energy, she was actually trying to research how to manipulate gravity itself. She claimed that this has been discovered 4 different times, and every single time it was covered up before it could go public. In the video, she's working on a computer that isn't even connected to the internet. She says that somebody is scanning what she's typing through the window, and it's burning her hands while she's typing.
My hands still burn because there's damage, but it's like my body relaxed when we barricaded, and it was like relief, like immediately.
Whenever she went to block the window, she said that the burning stopped immediately and there was an outline of her body left on the glass. You can literally see her posture in the window as if it was an X-ray. A former CIA weapons expert on her team identified the exact device, and he said that it was powered by car batteries inside of a vehicle that was parked outside of her home. And actually, for 4 to 5 years straight, she reported multiple different times that an Eastern European man in a Lexus had been parked outside of her house watching her. Amy Eskridge is the woman that texted her friend and said that if they say that I did this to myself, I did not, and then they ruled it as self-inflicted. She predicted exactly what they would say. They said it. I'm gonna be staying updated on this, so make sure you add me and come back for more.
That is crazy, family. This is another scientist they knocked out who's willing to spill the beans on gravity manipulation, okay? There's a lot of secrets they don't want us to know. They want to gatekeep this stuff to make our lives even harder. But meanwhile, we could harvest energy out the ether. Let's pay attention and let's keep it moving.
Once you know certain things, you know, the burden of knowledge is to teach. But how can you teach people that's already dead?
Jesus said the same thing. It's kind of hard to do that.
And that's the thing. That's why I'm a follower of Christ. Like, I don't follow these books because Jesus never even seen a New Testament. He taught from the Dead Sea Scrolls, his actual words. Because, bro, he showed up at Buddhist monasteries.
Facts.
But biblical scholars are going to say no. But these same biblical scholars is quoting the Gospel of Barnabas, which is a straight bullshit. That's why when Billy Carson was quoting, I'm like, you quoting the Gospel of Barnabas, dude? How? But that's why Wesley Huff and him had the debate and he got smoked.
The murderer Barnabas. The one they freed instead of free. That's what one they freed in replace of Jesus.
Yes. See what I'm saying?
The plant.
Straight plant, bro. And that's why, bro, you ain't gonna Judas me. King James hired Shakespeare, who writes fucking fiction, and 47 other clergymen to edit the Ethiopian Bible. They took 100 books out.
Right.
And then this the same dude who used to have gay orgies. He got his mother assassinated so he could take the throne. And then after he edited his King James Bible, he put out a series of books called Demonology. He was demon possessed. He was already serving the same motherfuckers all of these governments serve. Because all of these governments are just death cults. All of them are death cults, bro.
What's a death cult?
A death cult is a organization. They use people as a resource. They sacrifice those people to these beings, deities, demons, gods, whatever people want to call them,
right,
in exchange for wealth, power, and control on this plane that we live on. Facts. They all death cults.
Death cults.
Family, the more you know, the sharper your tool. Knowledge is power. Love, light, and peace.
Why would you go back somewhere where they hoping you fall? They wishing you fail. Why would you go back somewhere where they constantly want to remind you of who you used to be? Them people back there feel like you owe them something and they ain't done nothing for you. They don't clap for you to help you get to where you trying to go. So once you get to where you trying to go, why the fuck you need to go back there? Because they didn't help you get here, homie. And if they help you got here, God damn it, you got to go back. Most of them said you wasn't gonna be nothing. They've already played their part, so you don't have to go back.
Sometimes the nicest people you meet smoke, drink, curse, and the most evil people you meet go to church every Sunday. That's why I stopped judging people by what they look like on the outside. Real character shows in how someone treats you when nobody's watching. It shows in their intentions, their loyalty, their integrity. So before you judge someone based on how they live, ask yourself how they love, how they move, and how they show up when it actually counts. You can wear the nicest suits and quote the holy book perfectly, but if your heart is full of pure hatred and secret sins, you are nothing but a beautifully dressed fraud. I would rather sit at a dirty table with honest sinners than share a meal with fake saints who smile while holding a hidden knife. Stop bowing down to these bloody hypocrites. Protect your true energy. Never apologize for walking away from their lies. If you refuse to play their fake and hypocritical games, leave your honest opinion in the comments below right now.
The coldest thing I learned is everybody smiling ain't really with you. Some folks clap just loud enough to cover the knife they hold.
How do you tell who's real?
Time and pressure, give it enough of both, the mask slide off.
Oh, no, they gonna regret how they treated you. Just give it time. You ever notice the people who doubt you the most are the ones that's closest to you? Your family, your friends, the ones supposed to be in your corner. Joseph had a dream, and his own brothers hated him for it. They threw him in a pit and left him for dead, but God was still working. The betrayal wasn't the end of the story, it was the setup. God used the people who hurt you to push you in rooms they can never get into themselves. So when they switch up, don't get bitter. Get focused. Because the same people who left you in the pit are going to need you when you're running the palace. And you won't have to say a word. Your life will be the loudest response.
Those clips were some words of wisdom, family. Some things you can go by every day. Some things that'll keep you above water. Those words, those clips, I think were super fire. Let me know what you think down below.
What's happening in Australia is a warning for what is about to happen in the United States. No fuel equals no food. An Australian farmer just explained a reality most people never think about. Modern farming runs on diesel. Tens of thousands of liters just to grow and harvest a single crop. Now imagine, the fuel isn't there, there's no diesel, so there's no harvesting. No harvesting means that there's no transport, and no transport means that there's no food on our shelves. This isn't some far-off scenario. It's already starting. Fuel shortages are rising, deliveries are slowing down, costs are surging, and this doesn't stay local. Around 20% of the world's oil flows through the Strait of Hormuz, and if that choke point tightens, this becomes global. Crises like this don't start with empty shelves. They start quietly and then all at once. COVID people were fighting over toilet paper. In 2026, there won't be anything to fight over.
Jim Carrey for a second?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Like let's talk about celebrities.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because this guy is waking people up and he's not even around anymore.
Right. So you looked into him?
I did.
Yeah,
okay.
Everyone was saying in the comments, you guys should go watch her video. I'm like, no, I don't even want to watch it. I'm just gonna wait.
Let's just have her on.
Yeah, I don't even want to watch it.
So what happened with him? Because we did a whole like breakdown, and it was just I don't think that's him at all.
Oh yeah, okay. So I looked into him very similar to I looked into Charlie Kirk, right, and Erica Kirk, and so Jim Carrey was on the other side. Okay, so when you remote view someone's soul, right, like it's a frequency or a signature. So as a remote viewer, it's like if I want to go remote view Hawaii, especially if I've been there before physically, it's like I can just teleport into that, right? So it's like you follow the signature of the location or the individual. So, I mean, sometimes I follow the signature of an individual and I show up to, your body. You're here on planet Earth.
Right.
With Jim Carrey, I'm in the afterlife. Like I am literally on the other side and there he is. There's his soul. Like there's his soul signature. And I'm like, yep, not surprised to see you here disembodied. what's going on. And he had a lot he had to say. So he spoke out against the Illuminati for quite some time.
Right. Very famously did that. Yeah.
He
Seriously.
knew he wasn't supposed to. And he also knew that he had a little bit of power in the dynamic because there's no way they could replace his talent.
For sure.
That was his safety net for a very long time. And even at that point, he didn't even care if they took him out. Like, he knew that he was speaking out and that could cause the end of his life. And he's like, this is more important than any of that. Right? So he was willing to make that sacrifice years ago when he was talking about the Illuminati live on talk shows.
Right.
So there was that. And then, the only question that I really had that I did not get answered, so I have my own speculations, of course, but it's like, why now? Why now?
I always ask that.
Because they could have taken him out years ago when he was talking about things. And there's like a variety of reasons why they either replace you with a body double, they put you into rehab, which is really just MK Ultra programming.
Britney Spears.
There's a reason why they do that, or just take you out completely and replace you with a clone. My biggest speculation, because Jim Carrey himself didn't know why now, right? Out of any other time. My speculation on this is that they wanted to use his influence. I said in my Jim Carrey remote view video, just watch, they will most likely get him into a film. Right? Mm-hmm. Because the only reason why you're going to clone someone, either you kill them off and they're gone, they're out of here.
Right.
Or you spend the money and use the resources, because it takes a lot of money and resources to clone someone and then program that clone to be that likeness, to put them in to utilize their influence,
right?
To utilize their network, or you just take them out and then you take care of the problem, right?
Right.
Jim Carrey was not willing to play the game anymore, but they wanted to utilize his influence.
Right.
So guess what was just announced?
What?
Jim Carrey's new movie.
No
Which
way.
movie?
I missed that. There's no way.
Which
Yeah,
movie?
I'm not even
No, I
kidding.
missed that. Are you
Freaking
serious?
a new Sonic, where he was like the evil guy.
Yeah. Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Robotnik. Yeah.
So
no way.
Just announced. Yep. After the whole fake award ceremony thing, and all of a sudden, like, I called it. Like, the only reason why they would replace him is because he didn't want to do what they wanted him to do, and they still wanted to utilize his influence. Now, one of my, sort of predictions for this is, if they can't replicate his talent in this movie,
They're gonna kill him off.
they're going to either change his role up completely, right? He's gonna back out of the movie, or they're just not gonna release, like, something happens with the Sonic 3 or whatever, and they're not gonna release it, right? Or they give him a very basic role to play. Like, it depends, but
I mean, even with AI now, you can replicate somebody's IP and their name and
change
likeness.
their face, even So
in Sonic, they just need his voice anyway.
Right.
So.
really, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that was kind of cool that Jim Carrey said, just on the other side, was that if in his passing or in his replacement, if that leaves people off with questioning the nature of the business, the industry of Hollywood, then he's happy for it. Like, he's like, if I can leave this planet and wake people up along the way, he's like, I'm happy about that.
He's all for it. That's what
He's
it seems
all for
like.
it.
It seems like it was last ditch effort when he had his whole rants and all that other stuff, and he was making.
And people weren't listening.
Yeah. Like, he was kind of like. It wasn't really like a joke, but being that it came from him, it can seem like a joke.
Yeah.
Because he was throwing up the sign and doing all this other stuff, and people were kind of laughing, but he wasn't like really joking.
No.
You could really tell. It was like just kind of like a message.
So I didn't see this clip, but people are saying that, one of the last things that he said in one of his last interviews, which was, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago, was like, if you see me again, It's not me.
It's not me.
Because I'm going into retirement.
Yeah. And he said if I shave my beard and it's not me.
And now he looks like Kris Jenner.
He's saying, "Oh, I'm dead."
Literally, he looks just like
I'm
Kris
dead.
Jenner.
That's what he said.
Zone family, I told you we was gonna touch a little bit on Jim Carrey, another legend, big legend, who tried to wake the masses up. And some people still didn't believe. Some people just love the Hollywood scene. Jim was literally spilling the beans for years, exposing the Illuminati, interviews, whatever. Even a Sonic movie, you knew it wasn't Jim Carrey. Cause Sonic, when it first came out, it was stupid. Sonic looked it extra stupid, super goofy. And they had to cancel the movie for a while and redo it because a lot of people was complaining. If that was the real Jim Carrey, that movie would have never came out. He would have been like, Sonic looked goofy. That's how you know that wasn't his stamp on Sonic. Because everything Jim Carrey has ever done was legendary. Look at The Grinch. How The Grinch came out. Super classic, legendary. And Sonic, super goofy, with a legend on it, and y'all put it out, then took it off the movies to re-put it out. That's how you know that wasn't Jim. And he told y'all, if he ever cut off his beard, if he looked goofy at the award show like that goofer was standing up there. Come on, man. You cannot replace a legend. You could fool the fools, the sleepers, but you're not gonna fool people that's high vibrational. And that's a fact. But anyway, family, let me know what y'all thought about that.
Literally nobody told me how crazy white people parties get. Like, I knew white people parties could get crazy, but not as crazy as the party that I went to last night. My sister is married to a white woman, Jenna. I love her. She's a celebrity tattoo artist. She's great. But she is white. Last night, one of her close friends had a party. We all got invited. Of course, I wasn't trying to be rude, so I went. Before we got to this party, Jenna was already telling me what to expect. Listen, it's gonna be a lot of country bumpkins. It's gonna be in bumfuck in the middle of nowhere. You might not have signal on your phone, but everyone's cool, I promise. Everyone might be a little drunk. There might be bonfires. There might be some coke. I said, okay, sounds cool, as long as I have somewhere to sit, because I don't like standing up for too long. I like to sit and be warm. As long as there's somewhere I can sit and be warm, I'm cool. So we get in the car and we drive about 45 minutes to literally bumfuck. She was right about that. It was literally in bumfuck. There is nothing around here except maybe $3 Generals. We get to the party. When I tell you there is nothing but white folks, I was like, wow, this is the most white people I've ever seen in my life. This is crazy. Okay, cool. We get into the party. Immediately, I'm offered a beer. Hey, I like beer. I took the beer. Then they're showing us around the house because apparently this is like a housewarming party. One of her closest friends just moved to this house. It's great. They're showing us around. Then we head to the backyard. They have a bonfire. 2 things Jenna said was going to happen already happened. Drunk white people and bonfires. Love it. We went out to the bonfire. I sit down. I'm using my phone. I don't really have a lot of bars, so I really can't scroll like that, but it's cool. I'm not worried. I got my sister and I got Jenna. As I'm sitting by the bonfire with my phone in my hands, as I'm attempting to scroll, I hear a loud fucking scream come from nowhere, bitch. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Immediately, I'm thinking they're sacrificing somebody. They're sacrificing a brown person in there. Jenna's like, bro, they're not sacrificing nobody. Someone's probably just up on the roof. Let's go see. So I stand up and I look up on the roof. It is 3 white boys about to take a dive from the roof onto the backyard. Literally just about to do backflips from the roof to the backyard. You would think there was like some sort of cushion on the ground where they could safely land. No, bitch, it was grass and concrete. This could go any which way. So boom. 3 drunk ass white boys are doing backflips off the roof onto the ground. Luckily, nobody got hurt. We go back to the bonfire. I'm sitting down. Someone comes and grabs Jenna and she goes, hey girl, I haven't seen you in a while. Do you want to party? Jenna's looking around like, you mean like party? No, I'm looking at Jenna. Jenna looking at me. My sister looking at Jenna. Jenna looking at my sister. My sister looking at me. I'm looking at my sister. We all looking at each other. Party? Party. Jenna goes, no, thank you. I don't do that stuff. The girl goes, oh, okay, and walks away. I'm sorry. We don't all partake in those activities. I don't give a fuck if you do it. We just don't partake in those activities. As soon as I think, okay, maybe this party isn't that bad. Like the nose candy, the backflips off the roof, that's nothing. We go inside to grab some more beer. They're grabbing a white boy by his legs, flipping him upside down. And what is it called when you're like drinking off a keg and they're holding you like upside down?
Chug.
I've only ever seen that in movies. Movies like in college and like frat parties. They were doing that shit in real life. First of all, they had kegs at this party. I've never seen a keg with my own 2 eyes in real life. I've only ever seen kegs in movies. So the fact that there are kegs at this party and they have this white boy flipped over, holding him up by the legs while he's chugging out of this keg is crazy. But that's not the craziest part. I'm sitting there watching this boy chug all this beer from this keg. All of a sudden he goes, Everybody else around him is telling him to keep going. Don't stop. The boy's like, I'm like, yo, I think he's choking. He wasn't choking, bitch. He was about to throw up, and that he did. He threw up all over the fucking keg, the floor, the kitchen. He threw up on the other dude's feet. Disgusting. Everybody got so mad. Everybody got so mad to the point where they let go of him and he completely fell and like bashed his face in. So now there's blood and vomit. Blood and vomit all over the floor. So since there's blood and vomit literally everywhere, I'm trying to be a helpful house guest. Me and my sister go look in the closet to see if we can find like some rags, paper towels, whatever. We open the closet. There's no rags, no paper towels. But you know what there was in there? There was 2 Confederate flags. 2 Confederate flags just sitting in the closet, just looking at us in the eye. Me and my sister said, nope, close that shit right back up. We went to a different room thinking that was the bathroom. We were gonna grab some toilet paper. That was not the bathroom, bitch. That was not the bathroom. It was a bedroom. And you know who was in that bedroom? Somebody's fucking grandma. Somebody's grandma wrapped in a Confederate flag bedroom set. I'm talking pillowcase, blanket, duvet cover, all of that. Confederate flag down. I look at my sister look at me. It's time to go, bitch. Somebody's old white grandma was literally burritoed in a Confederate flag. This is not somewhere that I want to be anymore. So we go back out to the living room while everyone's trying to clean up the vomit and the blood. And I tell Jenna, hey, Jenna, we have to go. She's like, why? What happened? We just have to go. So as we're saying goodbye to everybody, grandma comes out the room talking about some, who the fuck are you? Me? She looking at me and my sister like, who are these brown ones? Baby, when I tell you, I told Jenna to start the car so quick. Get me out of here now before they take me to a room, sedate me, cut my head open, and take my brain and put it in their body. No, ma'am. Now, I believe this could have been a great party. I believe we could have made it all the way through to the ending of the party, but that was the end of the party. Blood, vomit, boy, back of the car on the way to hospital, us, car back home.
That seemed like a wild party to me. There was a lot going on. Not every soiree's for everybody, okay? You gotta pick and choose what kind of soiree you're gonna attend. For me, it don't sound like my kind of party. In fact, I don't even like wild parties like that. She definitely had a time of her life. Especially when grandma was like, who these 2 brown itches, huh? Y'all about to be some s'mores at that bonfire, okay? You guys about to be s'mores on a stick. But anyway, family, that seemed like a pretty wild party right there. Comment down below. Let me know would you attend that party.
Chosen. Every religion told part of the truth, but the scroll is what they were all hiding. God is not separate from science. He authored the quantum field. Every sacred text, from the Torah to the Vedas to the Quran, hold a fractured mirror of the same thing. You were written before time. That writing is your scroll, not a belief system, not a ritual, a living frequency blueprint encoded in your DNA. When Jesus said, I only do what I see the Father doing, he wasn't quoting poetry, he was running a pre-scripted field sequence. That's scroll law. In quantum terms, collapse the wave function equals walk the exact path written for your soul with no deviation, no delay, no distortion. This is the math of miracles. If you felt it, like something's calling you that no church ever explained, that's your scroll remembering itself. Comment scroll and I'll send you the $33 scan. This is not about religion. It's about your original design and why the system needed you to forget. Jesus was not manifesting. He was executing scroll law, and all religions touched it, but none of them are it. Your scroll is your original assignment before distortion entered the grid. Comment scroll for the $33 scan. No coaching, no BS, just fire.
Fire. Calm me down.
OCO, wholeness and tranquility. I'm standing in front of Shiva Temple in the Grand Canyon. Did you know that the temple of... Oh, the wind's picking up. Hey, thank you, ancestors. It was still, before I even recorded, it's been calm, okay? So, the temple of Isis, the temple of Osiris, and the temple of Shiva are in the Grand Canyon. I just so happened my first stop here today is in front of the Shiva temple. So these temples or these pyramids are communication devices basically for astral travel. Our ancestors also use them for sacrifices for real to the gods, aka our extraterrestrial ancestors. And it's also a way to bring thanks to the Most High. So we will use these temples here, and it's something that we are grateful for because it's still here. There's a reason why they don't really teach about the Grand Canyon in schools, because there are a lot of artifacts and things that basically prove who was here and why, and also how we all need to still honor this great place. Like, look at this. This is the old world. The Mu, MU, look it up. The Mu was found here, marking the old world. Like the Americas is the old world. This is where we're here. This is the promised land. Peace.
What up, though? Come sit down with your cousin and hear a spooky story. I would just like to say that this is not my story. This is someone else's story. And if you would like to send a story to me, you can do so by sending it to my email. So this man says that bad things have always happened to his family. He said no matter what year, no matter what cousin, no matter what auntie, uncle, bad things have just always happened in their family. He said he did notice when he was younger, he really didn't have any other children to play with because all the other cousins passed away in childhood and adolescent, and he said when he became an adult, he started asking questions like, what happened to them? Nobody wanted to give him an explanation. Nobody wanted to talk about it. They changed the subject or glazed over. So fast forward, he was talking to his aunt one day, and she pretty much brought up, okay, you remember how we told you about, such and such made a deal with the devil. He just ha-ha'd it off like, right, yeah, y'all told me that years and years ago, our great-great-great made a deal with the devil. I'm not buying that. Like, what happened to them? Was there some kind of illness? Now, I would just like to throw in, he did want to put emphasis on the fact that he did not believe in heaven or hell or God or anything. He said that everything to him had an explanation back then. Fast forward, he said he went to go visit the family land. There is some family that lives on their land, but he just went to visit. But when he went to go visit, he went to visit the cemetery area. Any child or family member that passed away in adolescence or childhood, they're buried here on this land. And so he said when he went to the cemetery, there was a man sitting there on the grass, super nice looking guy. He said it was weird how nice looking this man was. Fast forward, he ended up leaving the guy, after they walked around and talked. He thought he was some kind of family member he had never met before, because there are family members he never met. He gets to the main house, and when he gets there, he's talking to his older cousin, and his cousin is just like, what man? I want to throw in that he is married, and he and his wife were trying to have a child back then. And he said that one day his aunt showed up to his home. They had a family dinner. His aunt showed up to his home with that man that was at the cemetery. Everybody has to ant questions like, where does he live? Have you been to his home before? Who is he? Why is he so much younger than you? The aunt is in her 60s. He appears to be in his late 30s, early 40s. So he says eventually all the guys split up from the women. The women, they go in and do their thing. The men are outside doing their thing. And he says that him and the guy, the oddly attractive guy, venture off and are speaking. And the guy tells him, he says, so I heard you're trying for a baby. So he told the guy, like, yeah, it's been really hard. We've been trying for years. And he said, it's going to happen. But when it does, it's mine. Do y'all know I would have shat myself if somebody said that to me? Fast forward, he's pissed off because he's like, what the hell are you talking about? It's yours. And so the man, he said, smiled at him. He said the man wasn't fazed that he was yelling. The man just sat there and was calm and collected. Fast forward a couple weeks past, he sees his other aunt and she tells him, you know who that was, right? And he goes, no. She was like, that was the devil. Now, I do want to add in that, a while ago, I remember being in church and I remember my pastor said that the devil was not this ugly, super dark human. Like, he was ugly on the inside and terrible, right? But he appeared beautiful. And I remember my pastor was like, don't forget that he's a fallen angel. Angels are beautiful. He said, so beautiful we can't look at him. That's crazy. Anyway, fast forward, he said a few years later, he and his wife ended up having a beautiful baby girl. But he said not even 2 years after the baby passed away. And I am really, really sorry that your baby passed away. Now, this is where it gets crazy. He said while his wife was giving birth, he's in the room, all the doctors rush in, they're trying to get the baby out, and there were some complications. But he said in the middle of all that chaos, he could see the man that his aunt called the devil standing in the corner of the room, like just standing there. Nobody is paying attention to him. Nobody saw him. He was the only one that saw the devil standing right there. He said he remembered after they had their baby and they left the hospital, he saw him often. He would see him while he was out. He would see him while he was driving. He said it was the weirdest thing ever. He would see him everywhere. And he said that's when he started to believe, oh my God, what if there is a heaven and hell? What if he is really the devil? Now, he said his aunt, it's almost like she knew the most out of everyone. She said that over the years, she's seen him and he looks the exact same. He has not aged. She said that they even take pictures when he's around. He's dated multiple women in the family, and he's never in any of the pictures. But, y'all, that's nuts. That's insane. That's scary. He said he actually has another story, and I can't wait for him to send it because that's trippy.
The Nana sold the family out, and every kid that's being born is being taken out. Was it facts or was it cap? There's a lot going on in that story. Something ain't right. And the guy was like, man, this dude is beautiful. Pause, okay? We're gonna pause that for a minute. I don't care how good the damn devil look. I ain't gonna let him know he look good. That's a pause moment. I'm like, yeah, it was a, gentleman and whatever. That would be my answer to that. But yeah, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, another man look so handsome. Pause. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about that. Was it facts or was it cap? I don't know.
In the streets, he's known as Spaceman. Watch this video to find out why.
What you got? What is that?
This aluminum foil, paper, and pencil in it. That's graphite.
Okay, so what we finna do with it?
I'm gonna put it in this flashlight. The aluminum foil.
Let me see the flashlight. Make sure. Show everybody it's empty. It's empty. All right.
Yeah, I'm putting in this flashlight I got from Walmart.
Everybody's Spaceman. You type him up on Google, he all over the place. Let me see that.
Y'all want to call me Spaceman? I'm trying to live up to that name. You know what I'm saying? I wear that name proudly now. I didn't like it at first.
Uh-oh. What's wrong with it? There we go. We got it. Look at that.
It gets brighter and brighter. It ain't
being
like a
lied
battery.
to, man.
Battery, when you turn it on, it gets dim and dimmer.
See, I just paused and I turn it like, all right, now take it apart and then pull it out and show everybody what you just
lied
did.
to, man.
And watch this. We're moving this out the way. This is another one. Put that out the way.
That's the same thing.
Look at that. That's crazy.
Stop playing.
Aluminum foil, paper, and pencil in. And this is toilet paper.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Just to make it stay in the middle. You know?
Right.
Mm-hmm. You'd run without that, but if it's lay all around,
Wow,
it won't stay in the middle.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've been had this. It's old to me.
It's old.
Yeah, I've been doing this here.
Why did it come on? Watch this. Look at that.
Wow,
It
bro.
gets brighter and brighter.
Show it what's on the inside.
It gets brighter and brighter.
Show it what's on the inside. This finna mess up. Watch this.
Harnessing energy from the
Look
ether.
at that. Look at her face.
Stop playing with Unc, man. Stop playing with Unc.
That's crazy.
See, aluminum tracks energy out of there. The paper keeps the
Great
aluminum
project
foil
for
from
the
touching
kids.
the graphite. Graphite push molecules out. So it bring molecules in. That
Graphite.
pushes out. So then you got negative and positive.
And we got light.
Oh,
Ether.
Well, there's light, there's energy, and I heard that energy could be rearranged, changed form, but never destroyed. So people talk about it's a shortage.
He
of
cooking
energy.
too.
No, it's a shortage of know-how.
There you go.
Let's go, Pops.
People come out with the electric car. Those people in West Memphis are trying to get me to make something like this because they can't sell the Tesla cars because
Spaceman, okay? Put some respect on him, okay? You can manipulate energy, but you cannot destroy energy. Pencil lead, paper, and aluminum foil. He's harnessing energy straight out the ether. This is some higher zone-ish right there, family. Come on, zone family. We gotta give it up to Unc. This is a great project to do with the kids. Teach the kids that they are being manipulated. Give them some truth in their life. Batteries. You know how much kids in Africa die because of battery, because they gotta mine that stuff? Do y'all know that? Kids actually die mining these things? Meanwhile, pencil lead, paper, and aluminum foil. And the light got brighter. Bazinga. Come on, man. We have been lied to for a long time, family. And it's time to wake up. Wake your neighbors up. Seriously. If we knew better, we do better. And this is the time. We in the zone.
So glad you asked. Now, first of all, this is my favorite Mandela effect of all time, okay? If you've seen the red Solo cups, you can imagine what a red Solo bowl looks like, okay? So last summer, maybe the summer before last, this woman comes on and says she was having a little get together and she pulled out these red Solo bowls. Watch this.
I'm trying to see something real quick because I had some friends come over, right? I cook. So I'm like, okay, where everything is. So I got everything set. I got the Solo cups. I got everything. I got forks, plates. And then I had this. And so all my friends like, what is that? I'm like, it's Solo bowls. It's Solo bowls. It's what we eat out of. They was like, I ain't never in my life seen no Solo bowls. Who ain't never seen no Solo bowls? Everybody has these in their house. These like a staple. We been had these. We grew up on Solo bowls. Who don't have no Solo bowls in their house? So now they saying I'm tripping because they've never seen a Solo bowl.
And literally the rest is history. Mandela effect history. So I go online and I start doing my research because this was real crazy, right? So I'm like, do you know how many cookouts I've been to growing up where I could have been bringing home pasta salad in that little bowl, bringing home rice, serving ice cream in them bowls at birthday parties? Something is amiss, okay?
Facts.
So I went on Solo's website, and supposedly, apparently, Solo has been manufacturing them bowls since 2008.
Cap. Cap. Stop the cap. I wasn't gonna comment on that one, but stop the cap. I ain't never seen one of these bowls till I seen this video. I've been using red cups since back in those days. Barbecues, birthday parties. I ain't never seen a Solo bowl in my life. And if they did have Solo bowls, we'd be getting cake and ice cream like she sat in them. Zone family, maybe it's me, but I ain't never seen one of them in my life, just like she didn't see one. If you seen one back in the days, comment down below. Personally, I think that's the Mandela effect. I ain't never seen it.
Real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Speak.
I'll say that again. Real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Right.
Don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. I don't show the recipe. I just serve the plate. They see the feast right now, but they never saw the wait. I move presidential. No press release. By the time they got the rumor, I already got the lease. I let the work talk. There's no reason to argue with truth. What I'm trying to say is you're going to NPCs, things outside of yourself, to get validation to yourself. You throw a ball against the wall, and the ball bounces back, so you assume the wall was conscious. The ball only came back because you threw it hard enough. Everything is a reflection of you. Look in the mirror and tell yourself how amazing you are, how beautiful you are, how you can do it, how you can achieve your goals, how you will achieve your goals. That jealousy is real, but you eliminate jealousy when you just focus on yourself. Because you ain't gonna be jealous of yourself, now are you? Yeah, I remember Selena, chitty chitty bong bong. Her best friend took her out. Ain't that a bit? Literally, find a way. It's only what you move everything in silence. Don't tell no one. Not your best friend, not your wife, husband, kid, child, spouse, nothing. Keep your goals to yourself. If you gotta say something, write it down. Unconditional love. You gotta put that within, because that's the only time it's gonna work. There are people that only prey on your downfall. Let me say that again. There are people close to you that are only close to you because they're keeping an eye on you. They're just watching. I know my glasses are a mess, but they just watching, and they only preying on your downfall. That unconditional love, people who want to see you win, that's rare. You think that's commonplace. No. That's a diamond. That's a diamond in a toilet. It's extremely rare. Look within yourself. Don't listen to any bad negative thoughts. Don't even allow that. Set boundaries. These bad negative thoughts, I don't allow it. Look in the mirror more. Look in the mirror. And tell yourself, it's just you and I, baby. Hey, twin. Right? Hi, twin. Look in the mirror. Hi, twin. It's just you and I, baby. I see you over there on that other side. It's just you and I. It's just you and I. Nobody else. Nobody else wants to see us win. And we're going to pop out and show it. We're going to pop out and show them. We ain't going to tell them. We're going to move secretly. And one day we're going to show up and be like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All this little thing. I don't know. It's some little card. They call it. I don't know what they call it. But you ain't doing it even to show out. You're doing it just because you know you deserve it. You deserve it all. You deserve love. True love, real love. You deserve everything. You deserve to be happy. Don't let those voices or those people say anything different. It's just you. Me, myself, and I. And when you can make it, and when you fill your cup and your cup is overflowing with abundance, then you can start spreading out some love and joy to everybody else. And they say, man, why are you so nice? Why are you so happy? Why are you do so? Because I learned to love myself first. So that love doesn't get wasted. I'm not going to try to love outside myself, because then that love gets wasted or manipulated or turned into something else, and they try to take advantage of me. Love yourself first. You deserve it. No matter what you've done, you got this.
So apparently, this was at the Citadel. The day that the incident happened, when all them Haitians went out there to the Citadel to throw a party. For what sense did that make, I don't know. But apparently this was at the Citadel. What they don't understand is, when you knock on the door of spiritual things will answer. And always good intentions do not come out. Especially if you're going with the wrong intention. From what it sounded like and what was said, people were singing Sondem and Nakoko Mamo inside of the Citadel while knocking on the door, telling Henry to
violating.
This showed up. You play stupid game, you win stupid prize.
Stupid prizes. Crazy. Family, this happened in the Citadel in Haiti. Sacred place. These kids decided to go up there, a famous TikToker, do a big party. Hundreds of kids came over. It was like the X Project of Haiti. Remember, you know that X movie? The X Projects, when them kids do a party in the house and invited everybody, thousands of kids came. Well, the same thing happened in Haiti. In a Citadel, where the ancestors built this thing with their blood and tears. And sweat. Guess what? It did not have a happy ending. Something popped up in there. Maybe a spirit of one of the generals, a spirit of the ancestor freedom fighters. Who knows? Like 60 people got taken away. 60. You know where they went, right? Yeah. With that spirit that popped up. Best believe that. There's footage of the kids partying, cursing, doing all kinds of nonsense in the Citadel. I thought it was violation. That's a sacred place. Should have more respect than that. There's beaches. Could have thrown a party on the beach. But anyway, family, let's keep it moving.
Mais, m'pas cham quoi nan bay Citadel ça vrai. M'tap démenti tout monde dit pas vrai. Mais ni, m'resi ouais bête là. Real talk. Et ça qu'al manger tout monde ça yo. If you rockin' with the vibe, attends cérémonie. Ou pensez pas Christophe ou bien qui est-ce qui là?
Love, light and peace. It's all in your movie. Shoot what be doobie. I ain't movie the fool. Don't you try to play me loosely. Hollywood vibes, yeah, the zone moving groovy. We all in the zone. Don't confuse me. I protect my energy. I'm dodging these enemies, dodging entities. They ain't getting next to me. Stay away from NPCs, yeah, they draining me. I'm locked in my frequency. It's levels of this, I've been moving precise. They be watching the globe, but don't know the price. I've been peeping the vibes, I don't roll with the hype. If it don't feel right, I'm ghosting the night. Too many faces be switching the energy. Smiling your face, but they envy me mentally.
Basically, he overdosed and he came home from school like this. So I'm guessing that one of his friends gave him drugs in school and he took it. And when he came home, he was disoriented. He was not able to speak, not able to say his name. Not able to know where he's at, who he is, and he's just hallucinating. He's
2,000 milligrams.
The doctors, his heart rate is going up and down.
Where?
And basically, they just saying that he's really high and that he has to get over this. But he's slobbing. Look at this, like he's slobbing. He's not himself.
That boy on cloud 29 plus 130. 2,000 milligrams. I ain't never seen no gummies 2,000 milligrams. Where did he get those gummies from? That is insane. That is diabolical. Monstrous diabolical. Diabolical of the year, young man. You looking all crazy. Mamma mia. Drooling on yourself. You don't even know where you at. You seeing stars right now in your dreams. That is crazy work. 2,000 milligrams. He probably ate the whole bag. Golly. But anyway, family, comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought about that. Diabolical.
Bro, this guy's car just bursted into flames in front of me, dude.
Ain't no way.
Holy crap. Holy smokes.
I'd have jumped out that thing.
Stop, bro,
that
your car.
Yo!
Get out! Get out, get out, get out! Woo!
That's crazy. spicy. Yeah, this the one right here, boy. Nah, crazy work. Diabolical. I can see it now coming. Cameraman, what are you doing? Nah, that's crazy work. On sticks.
Pasen rápido, pasen rápido. Pasen rápido.
Rápido. Nah. Nah, that's crazy work. Them boys was carrying a whole coffin on some sticks. What they thought was gonna happen. And them sticks gave out. They had that poor person in the water straight sailing away. Diabolical. Monstrous diabolical. Diabolical of the centuries. Golly, let's keep it moving.
Oh. Wake the fuck up.
You shouldn't always feel beat up and defeated as a Christian. Your experience with God is limited by how you approach him. Meaning some of us treat God like an emergency contact, only calling when something go wrong. Or when we pray, instead of sharing with him how we truly feel in the moment, we try to say the right thing, clean it up, say what sounds good. But that's not how you build a real connection. You got to admit your doubt, the frustration, the confusion, that anger. Without that, nothing changes. Then they're separating life from faith. God is just for certain moments, not for daily decisions. Look at the story of Cain and Abel. They both brought offerings to God. From the outside looking in, they both checked the box. But God, he ain't give them the same response. Abel brought his first and his best. He approached God like it mattered. Cain, he just bought something. Going through the motion. God, he received and accepted Abel. He rejected Cain. So it's not about the act. It's about the approach. Then what did Cain do? Got offended and killed Abel? Look at today. You pray, expect a result. It don't go your way. What you do? Get offended and walk away. It's the same pattern, different generation. Cain, he just killed his brother. You killed a relationship. But check this out. Here's the part people skip. God, he just ain't reject Cain and leave him there. He corrected him. He told him, if you do what's right, you will be accepted. If not, sin is right there at your door. But you're supposed to rule over it. God showed him the issue, gave him the standard, and left the door open. So Cain's outcome wasn't just rejection. It was how he responded to correction. And that's an issue today still. Something challenges us, we avoid it. Something exposes us, we ignore it. We like to stay where it feels comfy. And that's what blocks growth. God, he ain't selective with access, bruh. The difference shows up in who stays, who listens, who adjusts, who keeps going. So instead of asking, why don't I have what they have? Ask this, am I consistent or just occasional? Am I honest or do I just say what sounds good? Do I receive correction or do I get defensive? Because we got the same Bible, the same God, the same access. So lock in.
This is probably one of the most important messages I've ever put on this page. The lack of love and the Pharisee spirit that is in this true name, Yahuwah Yahusha movement, is very dangerous, very displeasing to the Most High. It's very ignorant and prideful, and I myself was guilty of this in the past, and I want to show you guys what I'm talking about.
Some of y'all do
This
it
is
in
a
the
really
comments.
wise and amazing post that a brother of mine shared on YouTube. He said, I wonder if when we are praying and we have prejudice in our heart against someone because they don't talk like us or have the understanding that Yahuwah has given us, I wonder if that's a prayer that's pleasing to Yahuwah. I'd imagine it not to be the case. Seems more like a Pharisee spirit. When we're standing and praying, I thank you, Yahuwah, that I know your name and I'm not like these filthy Christians who say Jesus, God, and the Lord, and those evil, false, mighty ones. And he said those might not be the verbal words spoken, but doesn't Yah see the heart? And if this is prejudice instead of humility, how does the incense of our prayers be kadash or separate? O foolish man, don't forget where he's taken you from. Don't be led astray in the pride of self-righteousness and zeal, yeah? We want to be burning constantly with the ardor for the truth, but only a flame contained appropriately can do more good than harm. When it's allowed to burn freely, that's when destruction can overtake the person, and the recklessness of the doctrine becomes a stumbling block for all those involved. And this is so true, and I myself have been guilty of this in the past, and I repent. Or any time that I've ever condemned persons who are using other names in ignorance, becoming a stumbling block to make them think that they're praying to the devil. Yah is love, and Yah sees people's heart. He really does. And I know people say that in the wrong way to justify lawlessness, but I'm saying it in the way of, if someone is being obedient and trying their best to turn from wickedness, and they're desperate for deliverance and salvation, and they have the name incorrect in this time, do we think Yah is going to look at them and say, oh, no, man, he didn't pronounce that name correct. I can't answer this. Yah doesn't think like a Pharisee. Yah doesn't think like a devil. Yah's thoughts are so much higher than our thoughts. His ways are so much higher than our ways. And Yah is so loving and merciful and kind. And if you look at the Hebrew word for name, it means Sham, or it is Sham. And it means authority and character and what that person is known for. So when Messiah said, I come in my Father's name and you receive me not, he's coming in the authority, the character of the Father to show us what the Father is like. That's why he said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father, because we're seeing how the Father operates. We're hearing the words of the Father through Messiah. We're seeing how the Father loves people, how the Father has mercy. What happened when Yahushua was being executed, being murdered, being crucified? He said, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. That's love, that's mercy, that's humility, that is patience. And that's an example for all of us. And remember whose prayer was more acceptable before the Most High. Was it the Pharisee who fasted 2 times a week and was righteous in his own mind? Or was it the man who went before Yah and said, Father, have mercy on me, a criminal, a sinner? And here we are condemning people whom Yah has not condemned, who are still alive, still breathing, still trying to become better. And we're condemning them over a name, telling them, say this name or you're doomed. That is not of Yahuwah. And I repent for ever thinking anything like that. And I'm sorry to anyone who I made feel that way. And even thinking that someone using Yahushua or Yeshua or any of those other variants of the name, thinking that those people are doomed and you need to separate yourself from them, that is so backwards. Do you know that Yeshua in Hebrew means salvation? Do you know in the book of Nazarene, that was a name that people called the Messiah? They called him Yeshua. They called him salvation. But yes, I believe his name was Yahusha. Yah adds salvation. But is Yah gonna overlook someone's obedience and prayers over something as simple as a pronunciation of a name? When we are in a world full of lies and traps and darkness, this is a Pharisee doctrine. Great point. I repent. And I'm saying this to also warn others to not get into this type of thinking, because it's running rampant in this true name movement. And what's most important, what are the 2 most important commands that Yahushua gave? He said the whole law hangs on these 2. He said to love Yah with all your heart, mind, being, and strength, which is Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4, and to love your neighbor as yourself. That's also part of the Torah. And that's the most 2 important commands right there, which the whole law hangs upon. So if we can't have love, mercy, patience, and humility on people, and we're going to condemn people just because we have a name, this is doing more harm than good. This is evil. Yes, houses are going to be separated because persons follow a path of lawlessness when we follow a path of righteousness and obedience to the law. But if someone is doing their best to obey and they just disagree about something as simple as a name, even if someone is still in lawlessness, that doesn't give you an excuse to not love them, to not show mercy to them. and to be a light for them to see, wow, look how loving and kind this person is. In fact, that's what Messiah said, how the nations would identify who his disciples are, is by the love that they have for each other.
Intention.
And I believe it's the love that we show towards others also, because that allows them to see the truth and to see the love of Messiah and the love of the Father Yah inside of us, and allow them to come to the truth. Don't be a stumbling block, family. Let's show love and mercy, and let's be humble, and let's be putting love, mercy, and humility on the forefront of our mind, and remembering how Yahusha loved others. And we got to remember that Yahuwah created all living people, all living things, all living creatures. He loves people so much, and he desires for all people to repent. Do you think Yah wants to see people perish? Do you think Yah wants to see people struggle and hurt? He is love. He loves everyone. He don't love wickedness, I can tell you that. And I believe it hurts him to see people in wickedness and following after wickedness. But they've chosen that. And we should be praying for these people, showing love to them. Remember, it says in Ecclesiastes that there's nothing new under the sun. So if there were Pharisees back then, there's going to be Pharisees today in every denomination, every movement. And something so simple as a name, condemning people for that, that's a straight Pharisee right there. And I repent, I renounce that garbage.
Facts.
Not saying the name is garbage. I'm talking about the doctrine, the actions that people do in that name. You are pushing more people away. If you've been guilty of this too, go to Yah, go repent, ask for mercy. Ask him to assist you to be more loving, more kind, more merciful, to be like Messiah, to walk like he walked. Every day is a gift for us to be alive, breathing. Another chance to repent. Give thanks to Yah. Much love, and I'll see you guys in the next video, Yah willing. Shalom, shalom.
John Truth, Zone family. You know what kind of love we have for John Truth at the Higher Zone. He was speaking facts. And some of you guys do it in the comments. And I'ma call it out. Just because somebody say Jesus, y'all be like, his name is Yahuwah. His name is Yahuwah, it's not Jesus. We have to understand, we've been lied to most of our lives, all of our lives, and we still being lied to. So you have to take that into consideration, that some people are really trying. Some people are really trying to get their hearts to be pure. Some people are really trying to love thy neighbor. Some people really are trying out here to do good. Just because you were taught the right way and you figured out the real name of the Messiah, you don't have to put the other person down who's trying, who has good intention, who's loving their neighbor, who's moving righteousness, who's doing good. You're judging. You shouldn't be judging. You should be teaching. You should be righteous. You should be moving with a pure heart. Teach your neighbor, love your neighbor. You ain't gotta put him down or tell him he's doing this or you don't want to hear it. That's judging. You're not moving forward like that. And the Messiah sees that. You're not moving with good intention. To remind you again, we were all taught false knowledge. But if you have a good heart, a pure heart, and you have great intention, Yahuwah sees that. Yahuwah loves that. Why do you think some people, when they get caught up around demons, they say the name Jesus, and the demons go away? That's Yahuwah working. Because Yahuwah understands. Okay? Yah knows. He definitely knows a pure heart, purity. So before we judge, we need to repent and love thy neighbor and move righteous. John Truth was kicking knowledge. I love you guys. Love, light, and peace. But anyway, family, I appreciated you if you made it all the way to the end. You are goated. You are definitely goated. You are one of them ones. You are legendary. You are loved at the High Zone. I love you guys like cook food, man. And I definitely miss you guys. A whole month without you guys, a month and change, in fact, due to my poor habits of having a sweet tooth. I have learned my lesson, and I'm not going back down that route. After I'm done this video, I'm gonna do a little bit of editing because I want to give my eyes a break. Then I'm gonna head to the gym because I ain't go to the gym this morning. Okay? I'm gonna keep progressing. In fact, you guys gonna see me slim down on this channel. This is what I'm hoping for. You can tell by my face already how my face is got a little pointy. If you go look back in a few videos back, it was a little bit more chubby. So I'm working on progressing, family. I'm working on being better. Because I want to be the example also. And if you guys are going through the same issues, high sugar levels, y'all need some help, reach out to me. I did this without the medicine. I'm doing this naturally. And if you need some help again, your brother is here for you. I'm here for you. I love you guys like cook food. Don't forget to hit that share button and that hype button so more people that's beautiful, like-minded like you get to see the videos, family. I love you guys, man. Stay hydrated. Stay motivated. Remove negative people around your circle. Protect your energy. And I love you guys, Zone family. I catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Zone.